And so I'd like to take a minute and talk about the opportunities for digital transformation at the MES layer, what that means, talk about leveraging digital transformation, and then the future of digital transformation for MES. So one of the last places that typically sees this transformation is that gap between the automation systems of the plant floor and business systems. And this is exactly the gap that we live in with MES. So usually that's manual and paper systems, maybe custom in-house apps, but disconnects are quite common. We want to show that those opportunities afforded by Ignition and Sepasoft MES can be leveraged with the enablement technologies to really bring about transformative change for your manufacturing business. But notice that when we're at this point, we're going to impact how people do their work. So we're bringing data to bear on the processes directly, improving performance, quality, and documentation. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about workflow management, batch control. We're talking about material traceability and inventory. We're talking about KPIs and performance metrics, real-time quality statistics, and much, much more. Right. So these are the opportunities. There's several key areas. Obviously, we're doing a high-level overview. We're not going to do a deep dive, but this is really brought about through the Ignition ecosystem. Next slide. So how are we accomplishing this? This might be a little bit more for the technical members of the audience, but you can see on Ignition and with the partner ecosystem, we have this incredible communication capability, both up and down. And then what are we doing with it when it comes to manufacturing execution systems? Well, we're providing the capability to define, track, control, and report on that on those industrial processes in real time. So we've heard a lot already about modeling, and so the models involved are critical for process definition, the bills of material, the bills of process, recipes, quality samples, and so forth. So we provide out-of-the-box tools for those that can, of course, be extended for the unique circumstances of a given application. We also provide live monitoring and analysis in the context of Ignition. So we're leveraging perspective, we're leveraging the alarming system and bringing to bear on that MES-specific data, material traceability, electronic batch records, and more. For process control, of course, we have scheduling, production execution tools, again, batch-related execution items, WIP inventory, and more. And then we want to be able to expose that information in a context that makes sense to other consumers in this very open architecture that we've seen so far. So we need to share data appropriately to ERP, to engineering systems like PLM, and of course, clean contextual data to our higher level analytics, AI, machine learning, and business intelligence tools as well. So you can see a sampling of the technologies displayed there. So these are the opportunities for digital transformation, replacing those paper or point solutions. But what does that mean leveraging it? What does it mean to the folks on the floor? Let's go to the next slide and see a quick example. So when we're leveraging digital transformation, we can make a direct impact to the folks on the floor by delivering them the information they need in the correct context in real time. Here you can see some productivity and KPI information in a user configurable dashboard, thanks to perspective. Of course, when it comes to workflow and recipe, we need to make sure that the right tasks are carried out in the right sequence, the right data, the right people, equipment, and materials, etc. So here you can see a graphical tool for configuring that workflow, and we have the same type of feature for runtime viewing, making sure that we have the right information and that we're carrying out our processes properly. We'll see a genealogy tree, so we can see where the material went. What equipment did it get processed at? What quantities were consumed? What was the status of the material? Who touched it last? And then we can assess things like, did we get the electronic signature for that exception, for that quality, that was on the bubble, right? But we determined it was okay to use the material, and so on and so forth. So we can answer these questions in real time and also report on them afterwards. So we've seen a number of quick examples of leveraging. Here on the last slide, we'll take a look at the future of digital transformation for MES. So with Ignition's communication capability, we're ready to share data bidirectionally with future tools. And I think that's critical. We all have an idea of what we think is next, but we don't really know. So we need to stay open, and that's really a core tenet of the Ignition platform. Further, we need to represent that clean contextual data to higher level analytical tools, and that's what we do with our MES products. Lastly, we need to provide a place to apply any insight, optimizations, or learnings from those higher level systems. And that's the point of execution. That's manufacturing execution systems. That's what we're here for. Well, thanks for your attention. If you'd like to learn more about Sepasoft and the other solution partners, please take a look at the Inductive Automation Solutions Partner webpage.